I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
These my dads make it hurt.
Let me see here. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Ooh, this so janky. What's up, y'all? Let me get this stuff together here. Let me get my background right because it's trashy. This is so janky. Okay, then again, maybe not. Okay, I think I know what's going on. So, soon as I get it, okay, we'll roll like this for the night because it's just too much jankiness going on. Welcome everybody to the Big Time Show that is being seen and heard live right now as we speak. What's going on? Sorry for all that. I don't know what's going on, but we're here in all this incredible Hulk green that you see behind me. So let the jankiness begin. How y'all doing tonight? Briefly, I hope you guys will uh, share with the podcast with me. Hello to those of you that are on YouTube right now. Hello to those that are on Facebook, both the Big Time Show pages. Glad to have you tonight as we are still celebrating a gigantic win from last night. This will be the final show for me, at least, talking about last night, and I'm on the Buffalo after this. But we're still on this Victory Monday. We are still hot as far as talking about what happened on last night. I just think that it deserves credit because I guess I start here. The national media did exactly what I thought they would do. At least some of the shows that most of us watch together. Hope you guys will share it. If you want to contribute to the podcast, there it is. Cash App, $, the Big Time Show. If you want to do, if you're on the Big Time Show Facebook page, you can use the stars. If you're on the YouTube page, you can use the heart button there for the likes, and you can also use the super chats that are there as well. You can do that as well. The national media did exactly what I thought they would do, and that is they instead of focusing in on what happened, they automatically, because they're trained not to give the credit to the Cowboys. The shows, some of their shows will suffer if they took that approach. So instead of giving the Cowboys credit for what they did last night, which was blow another team out and beat their brains out like they did, they want to automatically go to Buffalo, Miami, and the gauntlet and all that. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because when we lost to the Cardinals, they concentrated on the Cardinals. When we lost to the 49ers, they concentrated on the 49ers. When we lost to the Eagles, they concentrated on that game. They didn't look toward the future. They concentrated on the game. The same guy to say we ain't beat nobody. Now they saw how we handled them and how we destroyed them. And now, all of a sudden, now they don't want to talk about it. They want to go all the way 2-3 weeks from now. It's amazing to me. So you need independent guys like me and all of the Cowboy independent guys who do podcasts to give you analysis on week by week. We ain't looking forward, like they are. They're waiting for the Cowboys to lose instead of giving them credit for the victory that they had. It's amazing to me. This is what they do, and that's what they did today. They'll say, well, instead of giving the Cowboys credit, what they'll say is something wrong is with Philly. Wasn't nothing wrong with Philly. It was just a continuation of what happened to them against the 49ers. A better team beat their brains out. The 49ers did it, and they came to Dallas after talking all that trash and saying, hey, we're going to be ready. We're ticked off. We're ready to go. We're a little upset by the way that we lost. We're going to go ahead and try to take care of Dallas now. A.J. Brown running his mouth, shaking his head and all that kind of stuff. And they came down here and got the same tail whooping that the 49ers put on them. It was a total domination game yesterday. Half of A.J. Brown's Yardage came at the end during garbage time. He got shut down. Bottom line, uh, had the hands of the Cowboys. The coach, who always talks trash, uh, really couldn't nothing. He's talking about we got a certain inside and all that kind of stuff. You'd be all right. Y'all mean I tell y'all exactly what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna be all right, Eagle fans, because you gonna play the Giants and the Reds. I mean the Commanders and all that. You'll get your confidence back beating up on those guys. Just I guess like you say, we beat on them. We beat up on them. Well, y'all get your chance to do all that too. Only thing I'm gonna tell y'all is you better not slip up. See, I believe the Eagles are gonna win the division. I do. I believe the Eagles will win the division. I do. Because I don't think that nobody gonna be able to beat them. I don't. Even the Seattle game that they have coming up in Seattle, Seattle gonna play tough, but um, that's really the only shot if it's gonna happen. But the only thing I can tell you, Philadelphia Eagle fans, is you better not slip up, because if you slip, you're not gonna win. And I'm gonna go ahead and start with my little bold statement right here, because a lot of the Eagle fans now are banking on the Cowboys to lose one of these games coming up. They don't make no difference which one, just as long as they lose one, so they can figure out they're just gonna slide right on into the division title, which would of course give them a home playoff game. It'll bump them up probably back to the number 2 seed, barring that the 49ers don't blow up and slip. That's what they're banking on. But I want to throw this out right now. I want to throw this out because I've been saying this for the last 3 to 4 weeks. The Cowboys have been in playoff mode since week 5. Ever since they lost to the 49ers, the Cowboys lost to the 49ers, they have been in playoff mode. They couldn't afford another loss. When we lost to the 49ers, they fell 2 games behind. There's nowhere in the world the Cowboys would come back on Philly with a 3-game deficit. No way. No way. Philly is that good, and they were not going to lose a 3-game lead. So the Cowboys have been on a playoff kind of feel since week 5. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. Even though we beat Philly, we're still on a playoff type mode, because now since we beat Philly and we know we are technically, at least right now, on top of them, they know they can't lose. They know they can't, because they are aware of what Philly has for the rest of the year, and you figure that Philadelphia is going to do just fine. And who's to say? I'm just throwing this out here. I don't know the way we playing right now, is there, all you haters, are y'all sure that the Cowboys are gonna lose one game? Seriously. I'm watching Miami right now, just like some of you are. I'm doing a little scouting. We'll see them in a couple weeks. If y'all Cowboy fans, don't turn it on the Miami game. They just kicked off. You can go ahead and do a little pre-scouting on Miami, but I don't know if Miami gonna beat us or not. I don't know if Buffalo gonna beat us. I don't know that. I don't. I'm just putting it out here. I think the Cowboys can win out. Maybe that's just a little fan in me. Maybe that's the fan in me. I don't know. I believe the Cowboys can pull and win out. They're playing too well. They're playing too well. I believe that they can win out. Buffalo don't scare me. Miami don't scare me. Miami don't scare me. Detroit don't scare me. Washington don't scare me. I believe the Cowboys can win out. I do. I'm not saying they're going to, but I don't think neither team that we're playing is better than we are. And if they are better, they ain't by much. I just can't see it. But first things first, we got to take care of Buffalo. Before I get to Buffalo, let me talk about last night. The big thing that happened last night was that finally the Dallas Cowboys won a game that can boost your confidence. See, if they would have lost last night, it would have started looking like the same old movie. Cowboys do well, score a lot of points, get a lot of wins, but when they play a big, a team that's, have pretty much a similar record that they have, those are the games that we just never seem to get over the hump until now. And because they just did that, it is now that is the confidence that they need, to me, that could take them to another level. You want to be playing your best football in December. You do. And I believe that the Dallas Cowboys haven't even scratched the surface yet. Hey, Doc, I see you, man. What's going on over there in Podbean? What's going on, man? Thanks for popping in on me. I believe that they are poised to take this thing to another level. I still think the defense can even get better. I believe that Michael Parsons has another gear that hadn't been reached yet. And even though he getting double teamed, even though sometimes he get triple teamed, the way that I saw him go at Lane Johnson and get that one sack in, he just has a different gear that I believe he can go to. Everybody saying Dak is playing like this. Who's to say that Dak can't go to another level? Who's to say that? Hey, the lunatic, appreciate you, man. I believe that they can go ahead and get loose. I can. This defense has the ability to make you tap out. Yeah. When the last time we've been able to say that about a defense? That this defense have the ability to make you tap out. What a lot of people don't want to say it because they don't want to make Jalen Hurts look bad, but for the supposed MVP candidate that he was, it died last night. It took a chunk, against the 49ers. A chunk got taken away from his candidacy against the 49ers. But it really died after last night because the offense didn't score at all. So in 2 games, you got murdered by the 49ers, and then you got murdered by the Cowboys, in which in the Cowboy game, as an MVP candidate, and A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, and you had Dallas guarded back, you had, you know what I'm saying, you had the offensive line that's been, beating up people all year long and all that, and you didn't score one touchdown. Not one. That last night that took away Jalen Hurts MVP candidate. He's not even in the conversation anymore. So when the defense plays like that, defense travels. Defense travels. That's why I'm starting to feel a little something different right now, because the defense travels. It's going to be the same way when we go to Buffalo. They're going to make things difficult. At least I think they will. They're going to make things difficult for Josh Allen in Buffalo. And we all know that Josh Allen, even though everybody wanted to make him the gift of quarterback, like he's the Earth's gift in the quarterback position. And when the reality is he's the biggest turnover machine probably walking in the league. And I believe that we can add to that by making him turn it over. He always gonna give you a chance. It's really just that simple. And the confidence that they got from beating up a Philly team and didn't let them score at all, That's huge. That's huge. That's confidence building. That's how you go to another level. And I believe that's what's gonna get us to another level as far as defense goes. I believe that will go to another level. That they're really Joe. Yeah, Joe. I see you. Yeah, Eastside don't want to talk, man. We ain't gonna see him until the Cowboys lose or Houston wins. Well, if Houston wins, you'll see him back. He ain't showing up. I'm gonna talk bad about him too. I'm gonna talk so bad about him when he come back. He gonna want to show up and start yip yapping, and talking, and all that kind of stuff. He gonna come and do all that. So it is what it is. Uh, can we apologize to Stephon Gilmore? Can we do that? Can we do that? Because the reputation on him this year was that he's lost a step and he's not what he once was, which may be somewhat true. He's 33 years old and he's not what he was in far as New England goes. He's a little he probably did lose a little small step. But because of his knowledge of the game and because he knows how to play the game and because he is a Hall of Famer, he will get into the Hall of Fame, maybe not first ballot, but eventually he's going to make it in. He's that good. He has had that type of career. Those type of guys have different traits than regular guys. And for the lack of speed, he makes up for it in technique. That's what he does, and he has done it well. What has happened is that in these last 2 weeks, Stephon Gilmore has regained his reputation as a number one corner because a number one cornerback only does what he did. They say that what happened at halftime against Seattle is that he went up to Bland and Dan Quinn and said, "Hey, let me have a shot at him. I know this was the game plan to let Bland go at DK Metcalf, but it was him that said, let me take a shot at him. The rest is history. He shut down DK, and they went in and carried the game plan back into this game, which means that he held on to the number one receiver last night, which is A.J. Brown, and let Bland go back to do what he normally does. I think Dan Quinn drank the Kool-Aid a little bit about when it came to Bland, and I guess rightfully so because he was making plays. But what he found out is when you go against these large receivers, like the A.J. Browns and like last night when, the DK Metcalfs coming up, let me see, not Buffalo because Diggs is small. He's just so shifty. Miami, Tyreek lines up everywhere, and then Jalen Waddle is everywhere. So it's really the same thing. It's just going to be a lot of speed there, but they're not big. You see what I'm saying? The big cornerbacks obviously is what Bland have problems with. The shorter, shiftier guys, he can play them. He can. Now, I know Tyreek Hill is a different beast with his speed. I understand that. But we'll see how they roll on. But I'm really talking about Gilmore because Gilmore took the challenge and Dan Quinn went along with it. Most of all, Bland did not have a problem with it. And because of that, you saw what you saw last night out of Stephon Gilmore. He looked like he went through the time machine and went back to his New England days. That's what he been looking like the last 2 weeks. And he looks like a shutdown corner. 33 years old, yeah. Lost a step, yeah. But ask A.J. Brown about him now. Ask A.J. Brown. I mean, and you know, ask him. I don't see what's gonna happen. You know, and you need this now because as we get closer to the playoffs, you know, you're gonna be going against a lot of these big time guys, and you need to find out what's going on. Can this guy cover this guy and all that? And this is what we have to get ready for. So Stephon Gilmore deserves an apology, especially from Cowboy fans who said he lost a step, who said he ain't the same guy. Some of y'all were begging that he become a nickel guy or something like that. Let Bland take number 2 spot. You know, that's what was going on. So I think we owe apology to Stephon Gilmore, who has played lights out, especially last night. He was awesome last night. So get the picture, y'all. Get the picture. Now, when it changed, and I don't know if it's gonna change or not, but look at the picture. The way that I've always said that you build a defense is you got to have a dominant player on each level. We don't have that. Hey, what's up, Isaiah? I see you. We don't have that from the linebacker position. But what we do have from the linebacker position is we got some incredible speed from the linebackers. Now, Damone Clark is looking better and better every week. Bale is a playmaker, okay? But Bale is not a stuff the whole type of hey, what's up, Quack? What's up? He's not a typical stuff type linebacker, stuff the whole type guy. He's a playmaker linebacker. He's really too small to be taking on guards and all that kind of stuff. But Bell has made a lot of plays. He made some last night, created turnovers, incredibly his hat was always around the ball last night. But the picture is we're adequate. Can I say that? We're adequate at linebacker. We just don't have the superstar. We got it on the defensive line. We got it at corner. We just and we got playmakers and linebackers, which is good. It's nothing wrong with it because, just based on what we have, guess what we have done? We're a top 5 defense. So you can't argue too much with what's going on. Dan Quinn has figured out that Bell can play linebacker, and he's playing at a very high level on this part. So I believe that this team is not going to be a drop-off. And with Gilmore showing that he's still he's still that guy, then you got to reevaluate how how teams gonna attack us, because if you keep playing around with Gilmore now, if you keep playing around with Gilmore, y'all think that Bland can get you. Gilmore been getting folks since he stepped in the league. He ain't forgot. You keep trying them, and with Gilmore playing like this, it's gonna open up probably Bland to get some more work. I'll take my chances, because one thing Bland has shown all of us, he will pick the ball off. He will. So you gotta be real careful how you playing the Cowboys and where you putting that ball, because if you putting that ball in the wrong spot, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. I love what I'm saying. Can we also give a hand of applause to this? I've been begging for it for years. I don't remember a game, a whole game, a complete game where I saw us totally out physical a team. I ain't seen that in a long time. We've scored and all that kind of stuff. We did all that. I haven't seen where we physically imposed our will on somebody. Bell knocked the Philadelphia out of Dante Smith. He knocked him out. I ain't gonna even say nothing. They ripping the ball out. I mean, physical. Obviously, our offensive line played a little bully ball last night. I don't know when the last time I really could say that. We played bully ball, both sides of the ball. That's how you're gonna win win the games. And I don't know if we'll make it to them, but the way they played last night from a physical standpoint, that is the only way you're going to have a chance at a team like the San Francisco 49ers. You're going to have to hit a bully in the mouth, and you got to go at them. You got to impose your will. You can't play finesse. You can't play finesse ball against guys like that. You really can't play that way against Philly. And they did not do it. And they out physical them last night. I didn't hear Leonard Davis' name all night. I saw Fletcher Cox, get the strip and the strip that caused the fumble that gave him their touchdown. I saw that. I saw Hassan Reddick get 1 sack. Shout out to Terrence Steele, who played a much better game than he did in Philadelphia because Hassan Reddick just ate his lunch the whole game. He just gave up 1 play. I mean, just out physical these guys. Sweat just got annihilated by Tyron Smith. Whoever going to right now, shout out to the coaching staff again because their game plan for Tyron Smith it's outstanding because he ain't missed a beat, man. He looked like the old Tyron Smith. Sweat got ate up all night long. We ain't hear his name the whole night. We ain't hear his name. So that daunted front four that Philly got that gives so many people problems, we didn't get that. Part of the reason why was we went ahead and ran the ball. We ran the ball. We ran at them. In other words, you came with a physical mindset. What's up, Daryl? I see you. I mean, they made up. Well, it also helped because of the way they were formulated. I watched just a little bit of all 22. I saw that today, and the mistake that Philly made was they really thought they didn't adjust. They really thought that the front four would give the Cowboys real trouble, and they could not run. So what did they do? They lined up in a too high safety look. One safety on one hash, one safety on the other one. They didn't want to give up the big play in the passing game, and they really didn't think that the Cowboys would be able to run. When you keep the safeties back, you really got a 7-on-7 box. And they didn't think that our offensive line could not do anything. Boy, were they fooled. We ran on these guys all night. I think 32 carries. I ran around. Let me see. I'm sorry. I don't want to be misquoted. I don't want to be misquoted on that. See this, once I tell you what they did, it'll kind of clear everything up as far as what they did on. Do I have it on here? I do not. Okay. I got it right here then. Everybody hit that like button for me while you're here. Everybody. Y'all know I'm asking for it. Everybody hit that like button for me. If you're on Facebook, hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, hit that heart button for me. Give me about 12 to 15. Do that for me if you don't mind. And I would appreciate it. Let me see how many carries we had. Pollard had 16. Rico had 12. That's 28. Turpin had 1, 29. Dak ran 3. That's 32. CD had 1. That's 33. That's 33 carries. 59 and 46. 15. 105. 105 and 22. That's 127. 127 and 11. That's 8. 138. That's 33 carries for 138 yards. So the commitment to run was there. You see what I'm saying? So that's balance there. Dak only threw. Let me see. Dak threw the ball. Let me see. Dak threw the ball 39 times. So Dak threw it 39 times, and we ran it 33. That's balance. That's balance. That's time of possession. That's how you keep the ball. I love it. And everybody and the ball was thrown. This one, you know, everything is working, man. Look. Dak Prescott threw it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 different receivers last night. That included the running backs as well. That's what you call ball distribution. They did it. And the other thing that have to be said is this. And I see a lot. I'm looking at some of you in the comments. The other thing that have to be said is this. Jake Ferguson is more than just a tight end. I almost want to give him the name. If y'all are wrestling fans and you're old, you know, if you're 40 plus years old, when I say this, it'll make sense. If you watch wrestling, there was a group called the Four Horsemen. It was Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and the fourth one was a variation of people: Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, Barry Windham. You know, pick your choice. But the main three was Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson was nicknamed the Enforcer. The Enforcer. And what Arn's job was to kind of be the rock of the group and the tough guy of the group. That's what Jake Ferguson is. That's what I'm starting to see. He not only can get the ball, he not only can catch the ball and got enough skill and run after the catch is outstanding, but he is a tone setter. Y'all thinking that y'all looking at him catch the ball. Y'all need to be watching this all 22 and see how he blocks. He is a vicious type blocker. I mean, he likes contact. I mean, he goes, I'm talking about like looking for it and trying to knock somebody's head. That's how he plays. I know he catches the ball well and he's getting more confident, but he is turning to a complete tight end. He is turning into a total complete tight end. This dude is growing every week, and I'm just gonna go and say it, he is a problem. He's a problem because he's deceptively quick, and it makes us even more dangerous because, as I've always said about Dak Prescott, but it's changed, especially this year. It was like this when he had Amari Cooper as well. Had the 3 receivers set. But Dak has always loved throwing the tight ends. He loved throwing to Jason Witten. You know, he loved that. I mean, every quarterback loved throwing to Jason Witten. That was at a point in time, that was Dak's game. Before Cooper came, Amari Cooper came, he was a short, you know, tight end type dude. That's why he loved Dalton Schultz so much. Because Dalton was almost a guaranteed first down, move the chains type of guy. Ferguson is not only a move the chain type guy, he can go hit his head on the goalpost if you don't watch out. I mean, he can get down the field. So Ferguson has turned into a major league threat, and that is what defensive coordinators now have to game plan for. You see what I'm saying? So when you have to get guys that you got a game plan for, it becomes a real problem because you already know you game plan for CD. You're gonna have to game plan for Ferguson, and you gotta. And even though Cooks doesn't have the receptions that Lamb have, you just got a game plan for him just from a speed standpoint because you don't want Brandon Cooks going 1-on-1. You see what I'm saying? You leave Brandon Cooks 1-on-1, Cooks is gonna hit his head on the goalpost too. So you got to we're almost at a position now where you almost have to pick your poison. And I believe Philadelphia had the game plan perfectly right because if I was defensive coordinator, I may have played the same way. I don't want CD to beat me. I don't want Cooks to beat me. I don't even want Ferguson to beat me. Now, what the Cowboys have not showed all year is the consistency in the running game. I would have played the Cowboys the same way. Because what the guy was saying was my defensive linemen are better than the Cowboys' offensive linemen, and there's no way in the world they could be successful on running the football. They got fooled last night. That's the only thing that messed them up. The Cowboys' offensive line came in and busted them in the mouth. He wasn't expecting that. He probably thought that the running game wasn't gonna have a good run, yardage on every run attempt. Instead of gaining 4 yards a pop, they probably thought the Cowboys was not gonna do anything but get them about 2 or 3 yards a pop. But they fooled them. They fooled them. They've out physicaled the Philadelphia Eagles, which is a perfect segue to what's getting ready to happen against Buffalo. Because you're gonna have to do somewhat of the same thing. They're not as skilled as Philly, obviously, but you have to push them in the mouth. They still got Von Miller. They still have Ed Oliver. I forgot the kid name at linebacker. I forgot that. Pretty decent corners. They're formidable. Von Miller can wreck any game. We already know that. So they got their hands full on that. Hey, he could said, you notice we didn't run Pollard up the middle last night. Well, that's because Mike McCarthy was smart enough not to do that because he trusted what the tape was showing, and the tape was showing that Leonard Davis and Fletcher Cox are a problem. So it don't make no sense of running at them. That's all that was. You just don't want to run into brick walls. Even though you got Zach Martin and even though you got Tyler Smith, what the game plan was, we're gonna go ahead and stretch them out. And I believe that's a good thing because see, Hassan Reddick is only effective, at least that's what I'm saying. He's really only effective when he is rushing the passer. When in the run game, though, he can get swallowed up. That's why when he ran the ball, that gave Terrence Steele the green light to beat him up. Go straight at him. Go straight at him. Run, just touch him. Hit him. Beat him up. But when it comes to pass downs, that's where Reddick can get you. So I believe that was the game plan to make Hassan Reddick kind of like what teams do with Michael Parsons. Make him be a run game participant. Go at him, beat him up, all that kind of stuff. That's what I thought I saw. Oh, Lord, Tyreek Hill just got hurt. He's holding his knee. I'm just looking at it. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's not hurt, but he got tackled. Most of you are watching it now. Tyreek Hill just went down. The whole crowd looking crazy. Tyreek seems to be hurt. Look like he's trying to get up though. Now, if you're watching the replay, you can see it almost look like a horse collar. Oh, he got rolled up on his ankle. It wasn't his knee. Kind of got rolled up. He's walking on his own power right now. Y'all forgive me for that, but I'm looking at it. Okay. That was commitment to run the ball last night. So we look like, oh, Tyreek fired up. He fired up. He running off. Yeah, man, he all right. So we're looking like a team that can beat you, whichever way you want to play us. We still gonna pass the ball, but we got the ability to run the ball. Pollard and Rico looked outstanding last night to me. I'll take that. I would take that, and neither one went over 100 yards. That's all I need. That's all. What the way they played last night, I will take it. So, it's real simple. The way that I'm looking at it is, we just got to go ahead and, thankful that we won the game. We're gonna go ahead and close this book on Philly. If we see them again, hopefully it will be in Dallas. If we see them, but if we don't see them in Dallas, I got confidence to say we can go down there to Philly and give them some serious problems. So I don't even care. We can win anywhere. The only team that I haven't seen that we can really just beat is the 49ers yet. We played a couple close games, then of course we got blowed out. But the bottom line is we haven't beaten them. That's the only team that I haven't seen us really get loose on yet. Everybody else, I ain't worried about it at all. I'm not worried about it at all. But the way this defense is playing, the way this offense is scoring, and the way our quarterback is playing, I feel like we can go beat anybody. And that includes the 49ers. I believe that. I do. If we playing like this, there's not no team that's safe. No team is safe. Road or at home. No team is safe. There's no question about it. All right. Big win. I closed the book on Philly, but you guys may not want to close it. So the phone line is open right now. You can call in 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. You can call in now. Your book may still be open. Whatever you say, I'll talk about it. As far as the Cowboys, the game yesterday. But we're going to shut this thing down and get ready for Buffalo. It's about that time. It's about that time. It's about that time. It just ain't no good. Look, the show keep going. I want the same intensity. I don't want a lack of energy. I want the same intensity for Buffalo. Because the truth be told, we really don't have no choice. Again, if the Philadelphia Eagles win out, it make no difference what we do. If we win out and Philly wins out, Philly still wins the division. So we don't have no room to lose any type of focus or energy. We got to attack it the same way. I've been saying it like I told you before. We in playoff mode. We're in playoff mode. We're still in playoff mode. We don't care what Philly does. Of course, if they lose, we'll be happy. But hey, if they win out, they just win out. That means we just got to go on the road. It's just that simple. It is what it is. And all it'll mean is that we'll be a 5th seed because nobody will catch us from the 5th seed. I think the 5th seed team got a 3-game lead right now.
Call from.
This is James from Jersey.
All right. What's
Hello.
up? I got you. What's up,
right.
James? What's up with you?
Everything's good. I'm glad to see you back in rare form. No, let me phrase that. Good form.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious about something when it comes to being that the team never played anybody. So that means Philly was a nobody too, then, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Well, the funny part about it is that everybody is talking about what the Cowboys have played, who they played, and who they haven't played. But the ones that they keep talking about, it's kind of like, for instance, when you look at Miami, for instance, they put up all the teams they beat, and every team that they lost to is one of these teams that's considered the big boys. Philly ain't played nobody. We playing the same team. We playing the same, whatever we playing the AFC East. Philly's playing the AFC East. Of course, we got the division games. It's just that everybody want to try to nitpick the Cowboys when the truth be told is a lot of these big name teams ain't played nobody either. That's the way I look at it.
And the thing about that too also is that how is it possible that Jets beat them, but Dallas beat the Jets and blew them out? And to me, it's really crazy because they saying Dallas supposed to beat those teams because those teams supposed to be nothing. Well, Washington should have won, should have beat both games. We talking about Buffalo with the wrong route that was it through the touch on the overtime. He threw the wrong route. I mean, the guy ran the wrong route. That could have been a touchdown. Kansas City had it wide open, So to me, all the teams that they played against, it was a short margin of points. And to me, that's why I say it's just a matter of time for Philly actually start to fold. And it's showing it.
Yeah.
It's showing it.
Yeah.
But they
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, the only thing that I'm gonna say is that they get a chance to get their confidence back. Even though they ran up on 2 teams that are just playing better than them, and I'm talking about 49ers and us, they get a chance to close out their regular season, with the same thing they talk to us about. They say, well, y'all ain't played nobody but the Giants. Y'all didn't play nobody but the Cardinals. Y'all didn't play nobody. You lost to the Cardinals. Y'all didn't play nobody, like that. Well, they get the chance to do it all over again. They got I think they say the 4th easiest schedule to close out the season, the 4th easiest. Wow. They got the Giants twice. They got the Commanders once. Their last big game, as far as I'm concerned, the game that they, might have a chance of having a pretty rough game, even though I still pick them to win, is they're playing at Seattle. They're playing at Seattle, though. And that's always a rough place to play. And Seattle is playing for their playoff line. They're a very physical team. To go back to what you said, the teams they lost to have been, physical teams. Because they really can't run the ball the way that they did last year. And so they're leaning on AJ and Devontae Smith and Goddard is back now and Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. And I've always said about Jalen that even though he is good, but you don't want Jalen Hurts throwing the ball like that because that's really not his game. He's really not that guy. Once you really look at it, that's why he got so many interceptions this year. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't
definitely something's wrong with him.
Yeah, even if it wasn't nothing wrong with him, he still throws. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
He still throws picks. He's a turnover.
That's true.
Truth be told, he's a turnover machine. That's what the truth is. But you don't hear that. You don't want to hear
turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, come on now. If it would have been Dak Prescott, they'd be talking about him like a dog at the beginning of the show, because that's what they did last year. They talk about him like that, but nobody want to talk about Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen with all these turnovers they get. They both are turnover machines. That's what they are.
Well, hopefully, Josh can give us a couple of them.
Yeah.
On Sunday afternoon.
Oh yeah, I'm banking on it. I'm banking on it. That's what we got to do. And maybe that pressure that he's gonna get is gonna make him, throw some wild balls around. And one thing about us, we'll go get it. So I'm kind of banking on that. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
yes,
but I'm telling you, this team, Dallas is a total different team, and people don't want to come to realize that's what it is, because you can see it. The attitudes have changed, and Dak is doing what he's supposed to do, And I keep telling people, and I know you probably one of them that says about Gallup, but I'm telling you, he's going to be all right. I'm telling you, he's a deep threat, and he missed a couple on that last game that they played. That I wanted to talk to you about. I think it was the Seattle game when they was down by the 20-yard line and Dak threw the ball. Dak was throwing the ball to Gallup, but Turpin was there and he took that and they made it short of the third down. If you go back and you look at the film, you will see it was coming to Gallup. Gallup beat the guy. He came back in the end zone, but they took the ball from him. But anyway, though, I'm enjoying looking at this defense.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with I call him Stud Muffin though. Big Hank. I call him Big Stud Muffin. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with him. But I did hear they had somebody in the practice squad. I think about 6'5", 6'6" or something, 300-some pounds. I think his name Carter. Uh-huh. I'm not sure that was his last name or not. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully Hank just probably need a breather. Nothing real.
Well, as long as it, you can't have it all. We've been very fortunate these last 6 to 8 weeks with injuries. Just as long as you don't lose these guys for the rest of the year. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
If we can get him back at playoff time, if that means, because I don't know, they ain't put out the severity of a high ankle sprain or what he has. Usually when you got the high ankle sprain, it usually take you about 3 to 4 weeks before you can, sometimes a little longer. And in that case, that means you'll get him back probably right there. If we don't end up with a number 1 seed, he probably would be ready for the playoff game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if we know we need him, don't even take the chance. That's the way I look at Hankins.
That's true. That's true. That's true. You're right.
If it's a minor ankle sprain, then that's really just dependent on his pain tolerance. If it's just a minor sprain, he could be ready to go this week. I saw Trevor Lawrence dang near broke his ankle one in the week, and then he was back out there last Sunday, and he couldn't even hardly walk. Now I'm quite sure them guys had him around the clock getting treatment, and I'm quite sure they probably shot him up with something too. If that be the case, I'm just calling like that. That's what they do. But if this is a time to be honest with you, man. I'm just be honest with you. It's really not a time for experimenting. But at some point, we got to find out, for real, what is Mozzie Smith. We got to find out. First round draft pick. We got to find out what he is, and this just may be his time. In other words, what I'm saying is, even if it's a minor ankle sprain, I'm saying leave Hankins out. That's what I'm saying. At least for this game, give him this week off. Give him next week off.
Maybe next week.
And
exactly.
And we'll bring him down here. See, the other thing, the fact is this. See, it's a real thing to play in Buffalo, especially during this time. I think I saw a comment in here from E. Kush, that said
Mm-hmm.
the weather is predicted to be a blizzard in New York and Buffalo, which it is that time for it. You know, it's that time
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
always
So
cold.
if it's
Always
cold,
cold.
there, just from a health standpoint, you don't want Hankins there on a cold ankle. You see what I'm saying? You stiffen up
Right.
real quick. It's just that simple. Plus, a guy like Hankins, some guys try to block low anyway. Last thing he
Yeah. Yeah.
needs, last thing he needs is get his ankle rolled up on or something like that, or somebody
Yeah.
trying to chop block him. That's the last thing we need. So I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
even if he is ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised if
They,
he's not playing at all.
yeah. They probably set him out. You right? Because the best thing they did, even when they did with Smith, they didn't let him practice,
Yeah,
and he become a lot better.
yeah,
So you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you
yeah.
there.
Man, I appreciate you,
All
man.
right. So
I appreciate
I
you, Doc.
appreciate you too. I'll be watching. All right.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, phone line is open, y'all. Y'all can call in at your leisure. You can call in and we can talk. But it's okay. Oh, okay. They said okay. I'm saying something different now. He could say it's supposed to be cold, wind, and snowing, and then Joe says it's supposed to be 47 degrees, mostly cloudy. Well, one thing that Buffalo, New York is. All right, Marlon Haynes calling.
Call from
Cowboy Marlon.
All right. I got my buddy Cowboy Marlon on. What's going on?
All right, hey, this is an excellent segue. Actually, what I wanted to talk to you about, I didn't catch the very beginning. I'm not sure if anybody's discussed this. Obviously, we know Hankins is hurt, and I just heard your last caller discussing it as well. I'll tell you what I'd like to do, and there's zero risk to this. Let's go get a Ndamukong Suh. The Eagles picked him up last year. He said he's ready to play. I don't know. And if he's not ready to play, you can bring him in for 2 weeks and release him. You could do whatever you want because at this point, you don't owe him nothing but the rest of the season anyway. So if you gave him a 1-year deal for $8 million, you're talking about basically $2 million really because you ain't got the 25% for the season. I wouldn't give him that much. I'm just saying that you're talking about a prorated contract at this point. You don't own the 25% of the season. What are y'all's thoughts about going to get Suh?
I didn't say anything about Suh at all. I wouldn't mind having Suh. The only question is what he got in the tank. Or
if he don't have nothing in the tank, you ain't no worse tomorrow than you are today. If he can't play, you can just release him. I mean, we've done that before. We'll see what he can do.
I ain't never known a time when Suh couldn't play or he wasn't a factor. So
that's why I would go get him.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I would go get Ndamukong Suh.
I would take him. I would take him. And I hope they.
And that does not mean at all that you don't believe in Mozzie. You need 2 nose tackles anyway. Mozzie could get hurt. You can't. I know basically they might say, well, your other kid can play nose and kind of can play some of both. He's been the backup. The kid that didn't really quite work out, but he seemed to be playing better now. The Canadian kid, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
96. But anyway, that's what I would do. It's unfortunate that you got this injury this time of year, but it's part of football.
Yeah, it's that time. It's like I said before, we've been kind of fortunate these last 6 to 8 weeks. We really haven't had any real injuries at all. We had some guys.
You lost Van Der Esch for the season in that window of time, but we've been able to overcome that.
Yeah, but we had a pretty good replacement for him. But
sure.
It's really not been not really no major gigantic injuries other than that one. But we all right. So and Hankins, from what in the chat earlier, they said that Hankins only had a minor ankle sprain. So I can deal with that.
Do we know what the findings are? They said last night. I heard after the game. I was listening to 105.3 post game. They said he was going to have an MRI today.
Yeah, they just said no. They just said he had. Coach McCarthy said today that was just an ankle sprain. He didn't say if it was a high ankle sprain or just a minor ankle sprain.
Well, I did hear that it was a high ankle sprain. I heard I can't think of his name. I think it's Walker. No, see what Patrick Walker said. I think today on today's show, The Break, that it is a high. I think he said it is a high ankle sprain. I don't know what the severity of that high ankle sprain is. It could be minor. Because Trevor Lawrence supposedly had a high ankle sprain. He didn't miss any time.
Played the same.
Yeah, the team lost, but he felt like he was able to go. You know.
Yeah.
What I would do, I would have him to sit one way or another. I would play Mozzie Smith, and I would go out and get a veteran to help out there. You need somebody else anyway.
Yep. He could just said he has the news article say they are saying it's a high ankle sprain and it's minor. So
it's minor, because I did hear Patrick Walker say that it was a high ankle sprain. I just didn't know what the severity was.
I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him. I'd let him.
Well, you got too big a fish to fry. You know, it's no. If you win this game, if you lose this game, your season's goals aren't going to be met Sunday. So I would play this thing cautiously.
Yep.
I mean, to be honest with you, you don't see nose tackles getting consideration much for the Pro Bowl. But I'm going to tell you, as they run, if anybody subscribes to Pro Football Focus, take a look at this guy's run stoppage grade, and he's playing at an elite level. As a matter of fact, the entire defensive line, DeMarcus Lawrence is playing at a very high level, especially against the run. You know, Parsons is playing at a very high level. He leads the NFL in pass rush pressure rate, and that's more important than sacks. I mean, a sack is kind of like, I'm not saying it's luck, but what you want to do is you want to always, whether you get the sack or not, you want to always have the quarterback in a hurry, always have them rush. Hits, pressures, all that stuff matters. So all those guys, even Sam Williams is playing at a high level. His pressure rate is second on the team behind Parsons.
Yep.
And Odigizui is having he hasn't really done as much the last few weeks, but Odigizui still grades out as one of the top interior pass rushers in the league. That whole defensive line is dominant, man.
Yep. No question. The rotation is stacked. They just keep them coming. So, but if it was me to go back, I think everybody kind of agreeing that it make no difference how minor it is. I would give Hankins the week off this week. I would.
That's right. I would consider leaving him out for if he whether he can go or not. Let's say they say he can go in a couple of weeks. If you think about it, you figure if he missed Buffalo and Miami one way or another, even if he was ready to go, let's say for Detroit and Washington, that last game of the season, I would imagine, even though you're on the road at Washington, the Cowboys ought to be able to handle that. And it might be that Philadelphia has already clinched that you didn't need them no way. I don't know what the situation would be. It could be that you ain't got nothing to play for. I'm not opposed to letting them sit the rest of the regular season. That's basically a whole month. And just see where we are from there.
Yeah, exactly. So the way the situation is set up, if Philly win out, they win the division. Even though
that's right.
Their conference record would be better.
That's right. But one other thing before I let you go, I know you got other people to get to. I want everybody to think about this. I think if the Cowboys can go 3-1, I think you're looking at Detroit as a home game. And I don't care where you play that Washington game. With what this team aspires to do, that game ought to be a layup. I know you said with the NFL, anything can happen. The Washington game and the Detroit game have to be games that if it's necessary for us to play for something, we ought to be able to get that. Now, with that being said, I'll tell you, I'd be satisfied if we can split these next two. I don't know if you guys have thought about that. And you might say, well, the Cowboys need to win. Sure. The Cowboys are still absolutely in the hunt to get the number one seed. And there's a game that I want everybody to pay attention to. This, in my opinion, is truly the biggest game in the NFL this year. Let's take a look. In 2 weeks, the 49ers are going to be playing the Baltimore Ravens. And that's the game that we need to be looking at. Because, for one, I think Baltimore looks like they might be, and I don't know for 100% fact, but Baltimore might be the best team in the AFC. That also might be a preview of the Super Bowl. But I'm going to tell you, I keep saying might. Now, I'll tell you what I definitely know. The Baltimore Ravens are the type of team that I think can go in and say, if somebody's going to do it, that's the type of team I'm looking for. You got an athletic running quarterback that is difficult to game plan for that because every play is ad-lib, basically. And we all know Baltimore Ravens are always a hard-nosed, physical football team. They've got another great all-pro linebacker, Patrick Queen. That's the type of style of play you're talking about, somebody that's not trying to be a finesse speed team. The Baltimore Ravens are going to hit them in the mouth, and they're going to see who can hit each other in the mouth the hardest. If the 49ers lose that game, and I'm telling you, it's possible. Ain't nobody perfect. It's possible they could lose that game. If the 49ers lose that game, then the Cowboys absolutely have everything got in front of them. We're talking possibly home field advantage throughout.
Yep. We need some help to get it, but it's like you said, it's some guys.
Well, I think that's our last. I think the Ravens are probably our last hope. As I look at their schedule and I look at Philly's schedule, I'll say this: Philly has played poor enough in the last 2 weeks to where if they come out like this, I mean, they need to be concerned about the Giants. At some point they got to play well. If Jalen Hurts is really injured and his mobility is restricted, and all you got to do is keep him in the pocket and force him, because what the people are saying now, listening all around the league, various people, they're saying that the book is out on Hurts now. Just keep him from being a runner, keep him contained in the pocket, whether you get the sack or not. And they're saying he can't read. They're like, this guy can't read an NFL defense, not at a high level. It makes it. That's what they're saying, man. And if that's the case, they can lose to anybody. If it's just a matter, if you can make, and I know they got great wide receivers, that doesn't matter. If you can keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and make him a pocket passing quarterback, he's average. Average at best, I'll say.
I've been saying it. Why you think he lost his job at Alabama to Tua? And then why he also had to leave the whole college and then go to another place in Oklahoma. Now, when he got there, he had.
Well, I tell you what, he got his money. He got his money before the book on him came out.
Yeah.
They might have some buyer's remorse, man.
Just gotta be able to stop the run with them, but most people can't, especially when they're committed to it. That's been the difference.
Well,
the difference is they feel like they have to get the ball to AJ and Devontae, so they've turned into a passing team a whole lot, and they're gonna try to get back to running, but they're not running the ball well. Swift is slowed down this year. He started off on fire. He slowed down. It is what it is.
Gainwell's having a good year, but he's more of a change of pace type back. He's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, well, Bishop, I'm gonna go ahead and let you run, man. Big win last night. I'll keep this.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye. All right, it was Cowboy Marlon, one of my best friends, on God's green earth. It is what it is. The Cowboy, I want to talk about the number one seed again. Marlon, he put the nail right on the head on that. In order for the Cowboys to get it, we need a lot of help. First of all, we can't lose. If that's going to happen, we can't lose. The second thing is, Philly needs to slip. Philly needs to slip and win. And lose one as well. And then, of course, we need to go ahead and just win out. And that would give us number one seed. Now, there's a lot of factors at play. But because of the quality of the opponent that the 49ers had to play, Baltimore is going to give anybody a problem because of Lamar Jackson and the way he plays. He's going to give them problems. So you just have to see. And both, like Ron says, both of them are physical teams. What's up, Gary? I see you, man. What's up? Thank you for popping in. Everybody hit that. Let me see. I will. E-Kush says, I know most people think Philly's going to win out easily, but I'm telling y'all, we hurt them mentally last night, shutting them down like we did. Philly may not recover from that fast. Well, Nick Bosa said this, E-Kush, and I'm sure everybody remember. Nick Bosa said that, hey, we gave y'all the game plan. He said, we gave the blueprint on how to beat Philadelphia. He said, I hope that Dallas pays attention. It looked like the Cowboys did. Well, that same blueprint is actually giving them problems. Now, I don't know if everybody can play it like the 49ers, and I don't know if teams are loaded like the Dallas Cowboys are on defense. I don't know if that's the case, but in order to play that way, you got to have a pretty good defense. Seattle always gives the 49ers a tough game. Always. They're a division rival. And their games are always, they ain't just no blowouts. They know each other well. The Frisco will be playing them in Seattle. And so that's a gigantic factor. And Seattle's playing for their playoff life. So you're going to get a desperate game out of them. That crowd is going to be a factor unless the 49ers jump on them early and get them out of the way. That's the only way that's going to happen. But it just ain't. It's still some games in everybody's schedule that concerns us, at least. That there's still some games out there that could open things up for that. But we have to win. And for those that came in, it's like I said, I keep saying it. The Cowboys have been in playoff mode since they lost to the 49ers. That was week 5. They had to stay close to Philly. You couldn't go down 3 games, so you couldn't lose anymore. You go ahead, G-Ball. I see you. I'm looking for your question. They had to win, and so that's where they've been ever since. And I believe that's the reason why we have been locked in so much, is because we knew we could not lose and go down 3 games. That would have been the division. It would have been over. It would have been over if we went down 3 to Philly. It would have been over. We'd just be getting ready for the 5th seed and let it roll. But I think even with us beating Philly, don't think that the Cowboys are about to relax, because now since they got the lead, they know that they have to win just as much as they know Philadelphia may have. They may win. We got to win out. We got to win out. There's a lot of pressure on. There's pressure on everybody right now. I believe Philadelphia can't afford another loss, and I believe the Cowboys can't afford another loss. That's what I feel. So we got business to take care of. If it's snow there, so be it. If it's not snow, so be it. We got to go to work. We'll go from snow and then go play in this December. If y'all watching the game right now, you see everybody in short sleeves. I mean, that's Miami, Florida. It's wonderful down there. It's wonderful. Nice out there. Nice. It's just going to be a fast track. It's going to be a fast track. So, we got to handle business. The party don't stop. The Buffalo game, it has become the biggest game of the year. G-Ball says, if we re-sign Gilly, what does it mean for Bland and Diggs next year? First of all, the only question that we will not know until week 1 probably is, where would Diggs be with his knee? He gonna come back, but everybody has that same vibe when it comes to coming back from an ACL. Usually it takes you a whole year to get back to where you once was. And Diggs is gonna be back next year. But the question will be, where is he? Where is he at? Bland is gonna be a starter. Regardless. So, to be honest with you, I'm not so sure if we are going to re-sign Gilmore. Because Bland, I don't know. See, if you re-sign him, see, Gilmore is playing his way into a little bit more money. See, that's the other thing you got to look at. He's playing himself into whatever that we paying him this year. He's playing himself into some more money if you want to sign him. I'm quite sure he ain't ready to retire, but he will be 34 years old. Bland has gotten, you're still on the rookie contract with Bland. So you got to get what you can get out of him because Bland obviously has already played himself into some money. We already know that. But you'll get one more year with him free, I believe. I'm not even sure if he's eligible for renegotiation even after next year. I'm not sure. But you got to get what you can get out of him because if Bland keep playing like he is, you already know he's gonna get a humongous payday. So I don't know. And if Gilmore keep playing like he has, he ain't taking no discounts. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Gilmore is earning himself a contract. He is. So I don't know if we're gonna even re-sign him, G-Ball. If it was me, I got to see the rest of his year play out, and if he plays like he's been playing the last 2 weeks, we're not gonna be able to afford him. I mean, what you gonna pay him? If he just make a Pro Bowl this year, I mean, that just added zeros. Seriously, if he makes a Pro Bowl this year, I mean, how much are you willing to pay him? That's really the question to keep him here. And the question mark will be Diggs because he's not going to play in the preseason. He's not probably going to be doing a whole lot in drills and training camp. They're going to protect him, and rightfully so. And they're going to protect him until week 1. He won't be playing any preseason games. None. So, it's kind of like what E. Cook says right here. And this really is the bottom line right here. They're already saying that over the summer, Dak will get his extension, and he's going to get a big one. Everybody should know that. And then we got to pay CD Lamb still. And then if Parsons poke his lip out and say, I'm holding out, guess what? We're going to be in real trouble. Because you're going to have to pay. Dak is going to be the highest paid offensive player in league history. And Michael Parsons will be the highest paid defensive player in history. I mean, it ain't that much money around now. CD is going to get north of $20 million a year in his next contract because he's going to add another all-pro season at the end of this season. Last year, remember, he was not only a Pro Bowler, but he was a second-team All-Pro. This year, CD Lamb, beyond a shadow of a doubt, as of right now, he is a first-team All-Pro this year. So when you come to the negotiation table, we're going to say, okay, in my rookie contract, this is what I did. I made 2 Pro Bowls, and I made 2 All-Pro teams. I'm considered one of the best wide receivers in the game. Top 3, top 4 receiver. And you're going to have to pay him as such. So then what contract do you look at as far as wide receivers go? Okay, I believe Justin Jefferson got the biggest one. Chase got a big one. That's what CD going to have to get. He's going to get $20 million a year. So imagine, you talking about Gilmore, look at the 3 names I just called, and you just better pray and hope to God that Michael Parsons don't poke his lip out and do what Zach Martin did this year. See, Zach Martin wasn't even thought about until he poked his lip out, and they changed everything, and they went ahead and paid him. They can't afford to let Michael Parsons be mad. You know that. So what if he holds out? Or what if he poke his lip out and say, hey, man, I've been first-team All-Pro ever since I put a uniform on. Do y'all understand that? Michael Parsons has been a first-team All-Pro from his rookie year, and he's going to do it again this year. That'll be 3 straight years of a first-team All-Pro. Double-digit sacks every year. He already got 12 and a half, I think, right now. Michael Parsons is about to be the highest paid defensive player in league history. It's about to happen. So you're going to have 2 of them same guys. So I don't, Guillermo can't come in and say, hey, I need $6, $7, $8 million. The Cowboys are going to look and say, hey, we thank you for your service. God bless you, and hope that we'll see you in Canton, Ohio when you go into the Hall of Fame. Please consider us. I know you're a Patriot, but if you mad at the Patriots or whatever, please consider us in using our cap as your entrance into the Hall of Fame, even though we know he ain't going to do that because he's going to go in as a Patriot. But that's what they're going to tell him. We thank you for your service, sir. How much money you say you want? $7, $8 million? Oh, no. Well, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you. Please. Now, when you got to pay all out the guys that we got to pay. So I don't think we're going to re-sign him, G-Ball. I don't think we're going to re-sign him. I think the plan is to get Diggs, and Diggs really going to have, he got hurt so early that I wouldn't be surprised, we don't see it. But by now, I wouldn't be surprised if Diggs is slowly but surely jogging right now. Now, there it is. And there's the other one. Now, Tank Lawrence, he's been a Cowboy so long. I think you might be able, even though it'll be his last contract, for Tank, I don't think he want to go to another team. If anybody was going to take a discount, it might be Tank. Might be Tank. DeMarcus Lawrence. It might be him. Might be. Might. Nobody. He your only chance, really. Because he just might want to retire as a Cowboy. So, this is the price you pay when you got a whole bunch of good players, Pro Bowl type players, all pro type players, and they all coming up at the same time. Some hard decisions going to have to be made because you can't sign everybody, especially if everybody want the pie. The Cowboys, the only thing they're going to say to Cowboys is that they get incredibly creative with Dak's contract. They may have to do him like they do to Patrick Mahomes deal. They may have to front him all that money up front, which is what's going to happen. They convert it over to a signing bonus. It's going to be the craziest signing bonus you ever heard. And that way, when it's time to put his contract on the salary cap, he's only going to be getting paid $4-5 million or something like that. That's the only way. That you give him the guaranteed money up front. You give him a you gonna have to. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get some of these players. Like Kansas City did with Mahomes. You notice they keep real good players is because they rework Mahomes' deal. All they keep doing is defer every year. They defer some of his salary to a signing bonus, and they give him all that money, which means when you say a signing bonus, he gets that money right there at the check. When he signed the contract, they hand him over a check for whatever their signing bonus is. That's the only way the Cowboys going to be able to compete. And they're going to have to do that immediately. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that starting off with that. Because that going to get his money. But a lot of this stuff is going to be deferred. So his signing bonus is going to be whoever was last. I think it was Herbert. Whatever Herbert got, or was it Burrow? I'm sorry. Was it Burrow? I think it was Burrow. Whatever Burrow's signing bonus was. And I think it was Burrow. Let's just, I know we off the game now, but just for curiosity's sake, let's look at Joe Burrow. And that will answer a lot of the questions. Burrow signed a 5-year, $275 million contract. 55 million a year, $55 million a year, with a signing bonus of $40 million. So that's really going to be, because since we know he's going to be the highest paid, Dak will be, and Burrow was the last one. I don't think it was Herbert. I think it was him. I think it was Burrow. Burrow signed a 5-year, $275 million contract extension in 2023, so that was this year, with a signing bonus of $40 million and an average salary of $55. That's the starting point for Dak Prescott right there. That's the starting point. $40 million signing bonus, which means Dak will probably get somewhere between, definitely north of 40. It's got to be the next one. 5-year, 275. Dak probably may get 300. Exactly, because and if there's, and Dak, like Dak said, Dak is writing the story. If Dak listen to me, and I don't know if he will or not, but if Dak make an all-pro team, you might as well get ready. Right now, I don't see how he's not an all-pro. I know he's gonna be in the Pro Bowl, so that helps too. I know he's gonna get that. If he carries his team to a Super Bowl, you might as well get ready. He ain't got to win it. He don't even have to win it. He don't have to win it. If he just get the Cowboys to the Super Bowl, you might as well get ready. And Lord have mercy, if he wins the Super Bowl, oh my God. Oh my God. I think so. He could say in North, he may hit 60 million. We may have to bump it up some more. If Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl, you want to carry it a step further? If Dak Prescott, look, I ain't said the other two, the obvious ones. If Dak Prescott wins the MVP this year, you better get ready. But how about this one to close it out? If the Cowboys make the Super Bowl and win it, and Dak Prescott is the MVP of the Super Bowl, boy, I can hear all these haters now. Let me tell you something. If Dak Prescott wins a Super Bowl and is the MVP of the Super Bowl, man, y'all think y'all were mad at him. Y'all think y'all were mad at him for making, for getting $40 million a year. How about you double it? He bet on himself, y'all. He bet on himself now. That's why he said, if you notice, that's what he said just last week. He's writing the story. And right now, he looking real good writing the story now. He looking real good because he ain't doing nothing but adding, when you do a sentence, sometimes you add a period, and then sometimes you add a comma to it or a semicolon. Pick your choice. Sometimes it's an exclamation point. I'm telling y'all, it ain't no periods because it's more like a comma. Anything that Dak does that gives him extra recognition, that adds more money to it. Let's just say he just make the Pro Bowl this year, just the Pro Bowl. That's big. That's adding more money to the contract. I'm a Pro Bowl cornerback. It is. I mean, that's the truth. And for those that are wondering, all y'all that doubted Dak Prescott, and I was one of them as well. So I ain't for that like I'm not righteous or nothing. I love my quarterback, but I thought he was limited. Oh, he's shutting my mouth up tremendously this year. It just ain't no question about that. He's doing it. So far, he is. and he's done it so well. And it was more Cowboy fans that say it way worse than I did. I bet you ain't saying that stuff right now, are you? You ain't talking bad about Dak Prescott right now. If you talking bad about Dak Prescott at this point, you are just a certified Dak Prescott hater. Because on the football field, he has been simply fantastic. You can't take it away from him. So if you one of those ones that want to say Dak ain't there, see, he done killed a lot of stuff. I remember at the beginning of the year, because most of y'all was on my show, I used to say, is Dak, everybody talking about it because it's a question every year. Is Dak a top 10 quarterback? Is Dak a top 5 quarterback? Is he a top 8 quarterback? On my show, I was doing the list, and I was saying, okay, y'all, I'm saying Dak not. Let me go down the list. And I was calling out players from the AFC and the NFC. And I was simply saying, okay, who would you rather have? This guy or that guy or Dak? And when I finished, I had Dak somewhere around 11 or 12. Boy, he done shut that down for me. Yes, he has. Because right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, he top 5. I got to give him some organ on that. He top 5. He done shut me up, y'all. He done shut me up. And he gonna shut everybody up because he top 5 right now if you can't stand him. And you know that he's about to get paid. And yes, Jerry Jones is going to sign the deal. A lot of y'all want to ship him off. Y'all the same people that said Cooper Rush was supposed to take over Dak's job. Boy, y'all killed me. Y'all said that. I remember it. Bet y'all ain't saying this stuff right now. Y'all know you ain't saying that. Your Tyron is awesome. But I seen Dak put up numbers when Tyron didn't play, though. Of course he's better. He's better when Tyron plays. Ain't no question. He got all day to throw, standing back there taking pictures and signing autographs before he throw the ball and looking at his girlfriend who's pregnant now and blowing her kisses in the air. Got time to say a prayer to his mother and blessing the Prescott family and all. He doing all that stuff. He doing all this stuff. When Tyron's in there. And he could say something brilliantly here. Dak Prescott, 4th round quarterback, has done this other than when he got hurt with his ankle. He's just done this. He just keep climbing. He don't do it. If you want to count last year, so a lot of people, the man missed 5 or 6 games, whatever it was, and he came back, and you can't take all 5 games and do all that. His thumb still wasn't right. He said that. He just wasn't right. Now, some of the interceptions that he threw last year was his fault. A few of them were not. But bottom line is, it go down as a stat. He did have that. But other than just that off year, last year, he's done this. He just keep going up. He does. He does. And he's earned every dollar that he's going to get. He has. All right, I'm done. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all don't mind. Y'all come on and it's almost halftime now. But if you can, go check out the Miami game. Let's do a little self-scouting. I'm quite sure Coach McCarthy done put some Cowboy staff, the people on this game here already get a little scouting going. Let's look at it because we'll see this team in 2 weeks in this same place. Yeah. So it is what it is. Hey, I appreciate everybody. Hey, before we leave, everybody hit that like button again. Everybody hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, everybody hit that heart button. Hit that heart button. If you don't mind, give me about 10 to 12. Everybody, it ain't gonna take you about 5 seconds. Bam, 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 bam. You're helping the show grow. The show is being suggested. I got the notification by YouTube today. The show is being suggested to other places as well. So the show is gaining more visibility. Thanks to you guys, those hearts help. Like that, those thumbs, those likes on Facebook, they help as well. And the same thing, well, that already has been happened with Facebook. The show is being, suggested. If you put in hashtag Dallas Cowboy Podcast, my show or some form of it, if I'm talking about something like Mike McCarthy or something, they'll suggest you all listen to this guy here. So you guys have helped me out tremendously in that. That's why I asked you to hit the like button. Don't cost you no money. Don't cost you nothing but just a couple seconds. That's all. That's all I be. I appreciate the cash apps that I get. I appreciate the stars that I've gotten. I appreciate the super chats off YouTube. But mostly, I thank y'all for the visibility that I've gotten in this last 6 months or so. The show has grown thanks to, most of the people in here are kind of like family because they've been with me from the beginning. I'm looking at some of the names here. Some of these people were on me in my first couple weeks of the show. I wouldn't have no more than about 5 or 6 people, and just listen to what I got to say about the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, it has turned into, something more crazy. The funny part about going live is that don't do it. But what amazed me when I get up the next morning and I look at it, like, I may have 25, 30 people here watching, but when I get up the next morning, I look at the views and it'd be almost 300 views from the time like I get off now. Is amazing. So the show is getting suggested is because of people like you. Every day I gain a new subscriber or a new follower, and it's because the show is getting suggested. So I just ask for y'all help in that area, and we'll try to do, take care of the rest of it. So I thank you again. I always thank you. I wouldn't be wherever I am in this little podcast world. I certainly would not be here if it was not for people like you guys. That was one of my guys that you can see in the chat who was with me from the beginning. That's E. Kush. So he's grown with me. We grew together. And that is it's just privileged to have people who think that you think you know what you're talking about. Because if I didn't, he probably wouldn't listen to me. You see what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. I'm cool with it. I thank you. Let's get ready for Buffalo on Saturday. I believe Saturday. I know there's a little time. Just turn these notifications on. I may change my mind. But at least on Saturday, for sure, I'll talk about Buffalo. That'll give me time to look at the little film and see how we need to attack them for Saturday. Saturday at 3 o'clock Central Time. Saturday at 3 o'clock Central Time. I will be right here again. Appreciate everybody that called in, Marlon and Lord, my brain done left. My guy from New Jersey. Forgive me for messing up your name, but I ain't want to call you anything wrong. Well, I appreciate you, Chris. I appreciate you. Chris Hennigan got about 4 or 5 or 6 groups that he's allowed me to share the content in his groups. He doesn't have to do it. He could block me out or whatever the case may be. So I thank you, Chris, for the platform of putting the show on your pages. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do it. You could report me to Facebook and all that kind of stuff, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing that. All right, I'm out. Y'all have a good rest of the evening. Let's kind of scout Miami. It's at halftime now, but let's scout Miami, and we might even talk about that just a little bit, or at least we'll have a little knowledge of them once we start talking to them on that. So let's watch that. I guarantee you the Cowboys are watching this, even though they're getting ready for Buffalo. Trust me, he got enough coaches in the building that he got them watching this stuff. No question about it. All right. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. I still saying comments. Yeah, well, we always can. We gotta help. We gotta help these guys out, man. You never know who may be watching this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I found out that CD Lamb watched one of my shows. His coach I played football with. Well, not his coach now. His coach at Oklahoma at the time was my high school classmate. Not classmate, but we went to the same high school. Cowboy Marlin, who you heard. We all played football together. Coach Dennis Simmons. Coach Dennis Simmons, who's the assistant head coach at USC right now, with Lincoln Riley. He's been on my show twice. And at one time he had texted me while I was there and said, "Hey man, me and CD watching your show right now." So you just never know who gonna look at your show. You just never know, or might listen to you, and therefore you might join on that. So you just never know. So I thank you guys for that. You know what I'm saying? And some kind of way, I'm gonna try to see if I can some type of way. CD is probably very selective on where you put his face at, and you can't blame him. But I do have the inside connection. Put it that way. I definitely will have Coach Simmons on here again, the USC assistant head coach at USC, and he was the wide receiver coach at the time at Oklahoma when CD was there at Oklahoma, so that was his guy and all that kind of stuff. All right, so I'm gonna try to get him on in the summertime and see what's happening. All right. It'd be raw if I can get him on before they bowl game. USC had a tough year this year, but it'd be raw if I can get him on then. I don't know. I might try that. See if Coach Simmons will come hang with me. All right. I'm just talking loud now. All right. Nevertheless, yeah, y'all take it easy. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining in. This has been the one and the only, the Big Time Show. Appreciate you, Bobby.